So, I have a face. I mean, yeah, I have a face, but that's not what I mean. I have one of those faces that no matter where I go, I look like I work here. So, people are always coming up to me in stores asking for things. Years ago, it used to bother me a lot, but I've gotten used to it now. So, if someone asks me for something in a store, I'm usually not bothered. Usually. I had one time where someone just refused to believe that I didn't work somewhere. That's what I want to talk about today. I was at a big box party store, the kind of place you go to that has rows and rows of cheap plastic in every different color. This store had an all-year Halloween section, which I think is pretty cool. More stores should really have that. Anyway, I was in the wig section looking for, well, a wig, for a project I was going to do. I was standing in the aisle when it happened. I hear a voice next to me just say, "Is this a troll wig?" I look over and see a woman with her child in a shopping cart, and she's shoving a wig in my face. I'm sorry? "Is this a troll wig? My daughter needs to look like a troll for school." "Oh, you must be confused. I'm sorry. I don't work here." I thought about helping her look for one, but then she said it. "Yes, you do. Don't lie to me. Now, is this a troll wig or not?" Okay, so, a few things. First, I was wearing nothing near the uniform of the store. My fashion sense is lacking, if I'm honest. I usually wear something like jeans, a dark t-shirt, and some sort of overshirt, generally flannel, usually open with the sleeves rolled up a little bit. The uniform of the store was that. Second, she broke what I call the rules of engagement. These are simple things when dealing with strangers or the public. The first rule is, if someone says they don't work somewhere, don't call them a liar. The second rule she violated was personal space. Everyone has a bubble. Don't enter someone else's bubble. It's rude. Anyway, back to the woman. She keeps shoving this wig in my face and insisting I work there. Finally, I got fed up, so I say, "Ma'am, your daughter doesn't need a wig to look like a troll, and neither do you." Harsh, I know, but she entered my bubble. She throws the wig at me and says, "How dare you? I'm gonna get you fired." Go ahead. That was not what she wanted to hear. She spun around so fast she nearly knocked her kid out of her cart. I went back to shopping. A few minutes later, the woman comes back with the manager, who I should mention is wearing the store's uniform, and she's ranting. "Him! It was him! I want him fired!" The manager looks at me, looks at her, looks back at me, back at her. He doesn't work here." "Well, I still want him fired." How? "I don't care, just fire him." You ever have a moment where you and a perfect stranger connect on a spiritual level? At this moment, the manager and I did. So he just looks at me and goes, "Hey, you want a job?" "Sure." "Good, you're hired." "Thanks." "Hey, you're fired." "Okay." This did not appease the woman. She starts ranting and raving about how she shops here all the time and she knows the owner and she's gonna call corporate. Finally, the manager just has enough. "Lady, he doesn't work here. Why are you doing this?" "He was mean to me." "Were you mean to him?" "What? Yes, he wasn't doing his job." At this point, the woman is clearly stuck in some sort of recursive feedback loop, so the manager and I both just walk away. Finally, I get to the front, buy my wig, and start heading for the door. As I'm leaving, I hear the woman get to the cashier and try to tell her that the manager said all her stuff would be free because of an incident with an employee. The girl behind the counter just stops and goes, I'm the only one working today?" The woman, she just snaps and starts taking everything from her cart and throwing it all over the counter and across the store, and she's just screaming. Finally, the manager comes back out and tells her to leave. As she's headed for the door, I walk back in, pick up a wig off the floor, hand it to the cashier and say, "Oh, right, I need this troll wig." Look, I've got plenty of stories about the horrors of retail, and I'm gonna talk about them more in the future. But folks, please, in the name of whatever you might believe in, don't be this person. Respect someone else's bubble. Also, one of the best things to do against this kind of customer is just have each other's backs. Look, the customer is not always right. The customer is usually never right. Just don't be the kind of customer that ends up in one of these stories. Also, how's my troll wig look?